trying to do what all of you all wanted by making it right. I'm leaving for Florida in 10 days. And before I go, I want to extend an olive branch to Tammy, simply because I'm sorry, but she was the one that went south. While you guys were walking, I tried to sit here and talk to Tammy because we are going to go on a trip of a lifetime. I did not yell at her. I did not scream. And I wasn't
Just
rude.
wasn't the time and place here.
I don't really know why Chris felt as if it wasn't the time or place. Because when else was Amanda meant to approach Tammy, you know? I'm not really a big fan of this whole... I mean, no, do you know what? I'm lying. Listen. Sometimes with some things, the timing does matter. Timing does matter. I agree. But then with some things, you have to create your own time for it to happen, regardless of the location. Do you see what I'm saying? And due to the fact that they are due to go to the UK, it was only best that she just addressed it in a situation when they were just sat down and things were just peaceful. And right now they are sat down in a nice location, you know what I mean? They're not inside a house, they're outside in the clear. So to be honest with you, I feel like the location was nothing but perfect and the timing seemed okay because nobody else was there but just her and Tammy. So I don't know what Chris be talking about.
Felt like it was.
I understand where Amanda's coming from, but when she gets fired up and starts on a subject, she kills that sumbitch.
Just to clarify, he's just talking about the fact that once Amanda started going, she was going on and on and on, repeating the same thing again and again and again. I mean, listen, I guess she's a very passionate woman. But anyway, we continue.
Or cut corners, you know. Yeah, we cut corners. But we.
See, here's the thing, Misty and I forgot the name of Chris's wife. Like, they need to understand that cutting corners only means that they are cheating themselves out. That's it. That's all it means. But whatever, you do use.
I feel like at this point with Tammy, she's kind of invisible to me. And I want to be invisible to her too. Do you, boo-boo?
That is crazy though, you know? To get to that point where you want someone to be invisible to you and vice versa. That's when you know, like, severe damage has been done. And that's when it can feel like as if there's no point of return. Yo, that's nasty work right there. But I guess Amanda did try with Tammy, and Tammy gave her nothing but attitude.
I've been out of the country. Well, Amanda's been to Canada, but that's part of the United States. That don't count.
Did you hear that, Canadians? I know there's someone using the chat. I put this in here on purpose. Canada is a part of the United States. Why? Because Amy said you can drive to Canada. You don't have to get a plane or nothing else. Oh my days, I can imagine Canadians watching that and thinking, who the hell does she think she is? Anyway, let's continue.
London is, well, anywhere really that you go in Europe, lots of walking. You will definitely probably walk at least 2 to 3 miles a day. Lots of steps. And because London is old, the steps can be very, very small.
I back every single thing that this woman is saying. When you are in central London, trust me, you're walking. There is no like, yes, you can get the underground if you obviously want to get that to other different parts of London. Yes, you can. But depending on which part you're at, you're most likely going to just be walking. And even sometimes, depending where you are, even walking to the underground can still take, you know, a certain amount of steps. Now, of course, to be fair, yes, of course, it's old, but in terms of it being quiet, I mean, the steps are the way she said they are. But to be honest with you, they're lucky they come into England and they're not going to Italy. You know what I mean? When I've been to Italy and what's this other? Let me just stick with Italy, right? No, Italy and Switzerland. Yeah, they've had very narrow buildings. Poland as well. That's the one where you're walking and it's very narrow to get in between. Yeah, trust me. But then again, the UK does have that though, depending on which part you're going to. So there is a lot of truth behind that. I'm just happy that I wasn't in the UK. Oh, well, I am in the UK. We're talking about. I'm just happy that I wasn't in London when they went there. Because goddamn. But if I had been there, boy, yeah, I'd been getting that footage. But hey, anyway, let's continue.
265.2.
My man. Well, I think we're ready to proceed with your surgery.
Chris has finally been approved for that skin loss surgery. Congratulations to him. I just hope that he can keep losing the weight and not just feel like, okay, well, now he's been approved, he can now become stagnant and start to just chill at that weight. He still needs to continue losing weight anyway. Of course, when the surgery comes, he's going to shed a lot of weight from the loose skin, but it doesn't mean that he's going to be at the mark that he needs to be at on a healthy basis. But of course, he'll be so much more closer towards it. But hey, we continue.
I'm not big on people seeing my body, so it's really hard for me to get undressed for a doctor.
Honestly, my first thought was, what? Are you telling me that you're uncomfortable now? What about all these years when you was literally in a place where you was moderately obese? That's what I was first thinking, but then I said to myself, to be fair, sometimes people can be at a certain weight, but because they're so used to being in that weight for such a long time, they just get used to it and just like, it is what it is. You can judge me if you like. But then obviously once they start to lose that weight and they start to see their body transforming, I guess some people expect their body to transform in a way that they think will be like very, very fairy tale based, but then they realize that all that weight has become nothing but a bunch of skin, and the skin also can then, I guess, impact in terms of how you see yourself, really building that body dysmorphia or body paranoia or whatever. This is what I'm saying. So I do understand her having those kind of feelings, but Tammy, you are not in any position to be like, listen, I don't want no one to see my body, when you need the doctor to see your body. Luckily, she was like, listen, okay, I have to allow him to see me, otherwise he's never gonna know how or when I can have, you know, the surgery. So luckily she had it. No. Luckily she decided to get naked. That sounds so weird saying that. Yeah, anyway, you get the gist. Luckily for herself, yes.
I think you're going to need multiple surgeons that can work on you at one time, okay? Hands that are capable that they have on you, the quicker they can get it done, the better you'll recover. You need a major institution that has a team of experts to get her operation done.
Now, when it comes to Tammy, she wasn't necessarily approved. Well, she wasn't approved, sorry. But at least now she knows what the task is at hand moving forward. The question is, with the task moving forward at hand, is she going to be able to get there? That is the question. Hopefully she will be able to, because right now obviously Chris is obviously on that journey. Vanessa from 1,000 Pounds Best Friend, she's obviously now had that surgery as well, the skin loss surgery. Tammy, you know, looks like out of the two shows, she's probably next in line to get that done. So hopefully she can get that done. And hopefully, you know, come into the next season, because let's be real, there will be a season 7. Let's not even try dodge it at this point. Hopefully that, you know, that will be a season where we experience her actually getting the surgery stuff in particular, and we get to see a whole new makeover of Tammy as well. But I guess we have to wait and find out regarding that stuff in particular. The main thing is her and Chris need to stay on task, well, the whole family needs to stay on task, and they need to make sure they keep losing the weight that they need to lose, so therefore they can, you know, obviously start to better their lives. But based on the preview for next week's episode, it looks like Tammy has one hell of a nightmare walking up some of the stairs. And I have to admit, some of the stairs in the UK, depending on the building, can be quite narrow and can be very, very steep, depending again on the building. And when I say that, I mean it depends on how old the building is. If it's newer, it's really not that deep. But if it's older, yeah, it can be a little bit of, you know what? I can't even say it can be a little bit of a struggle, because I'm a fit person, so I don't really notice it, to be honest with you. But I can imagine someone else who's less fit being able to notice the struggle. So I guess it really depends on the person. But I can imagine it being a bit more challenging for Tammy. But we do see her struggle a little bit. But then also we see Amy also lose her temper. And I'm looking forward to seeing what she loses her temper about, because boy, you ain't about to come into the UK and bring in none of that Kentucky freaking energy right there. You know what I'm saying? Keep that back home. But anyway, with that being said, let me know your thoughts and we'll talk about it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace.